Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Uxtsuki. I have been showing you some systems that I've been making right in order to accelerate my Godot project because I can reuse these systems and actually it works kinda a plugin made by myself. And even though on those videos I have some very basic examples, I think some people might need a better practical example. And in this and on those videos, I also end up explaining a lot of my logic, my reasoning behind my choices, and I think some people might not necessarily disliked, but I'm sure some people actually are just seeing something happening to get hooked on. So I decided to start a new playlist where I make games using these systems that I made and showed you. But I think it would be very boring, and it is actually something I'm trying to avoid, showing every single step of the development. So I will test something new. To be honest, it's an experiment, and if it goes wrong, I won't do it anymore. But how I will do? Basically, I will just note what I'm using and how I'm using, like in a very overall view, and show me the results. I think one of the best examples, because it's a very fun game trying to copy, it's Vampire Survivals, right? It's a very fun game, and it was a boom. The genre combination they used, right? Roguelite plus bullet hell. Basically, I will try to make a survivor-like that, as I said, is these two genres. Okay, so I hope to get this video interesting for you. So how I will conduct? I will try to make the player move as I want, very simple thing. Then I will make the enemies and a very basic world with some obstacles and try to make the enemies avoiding it. I will use the attribute system that I made. The audio system I think I will only implement in the end of the development, because adding right now it will just be distracting, you know. So attribute system, I didn't have here like a control or movement system, so I will just make something very simple for the enemy, just chasing the target. But actually I will try to use a nave agent and nave region. Actually I will try to make a tile set in the future, so I will actually use a tile map navigation layers as well. I will use the spawn system, right? I want to use the turn system because I think in this scenario I don't need to use it. Actually, I might try to use for certain behaviors for the enemies, but I will try to keep it simple, like damage by collision or something like this. I have a projectile and area of effect, not system, because it's a very basic thing. I don't know if I think I will use it, but since I didn't make a video about it, I will actually not use it in the full capacity, okay? And make some upgrades, you know, to add the rogue like first, right? Inner like the game upgrades and so etc. And maybe try improvements that will be carried on from game to game, so this turns into roguelite, right? And okay, so this is my first video trying to voice over what I was doing it. So this is the first take. I was just showing the settings I picked. So I set some layers, navigation layers, physical and so on. I created the player and I made a very basic movement system. Actually, it's just where I click, the player must move to. Very simple. I also showed you that I imported my systems such as the attribute system. Okay. So in this test was just to show you that how it was working. So where I click, the player moves, and upon reaches the destination it will stop. So in this take I just showing that I made the enemy a bit more complex. So I added the health system, that is the attribute system. I made the enemy chase the player using a nav agent, and later where I will show the navigation region as well. But in order to not like impact the processing, I also made, if the player is in different direction, actually in different position from the Navy agent, I actually just use a very normal node chasing. Okay. So in this take, I'm showing that I implemented the spawner system that I made the video about. I created some enemies research as well, and I also had to correct something in the spawn system, but I already updated the GitHub project as well, so don't worry. I set some basic things for the spawn system. I added some markers and a camera as well, so I'm actually able to spawn enemies outside of the camera and in the regions in the spawn points actually I wanted. And I am planning to add more different spawn points, so actually it's a bit more unsure where the enemy will come up. Okay. So in this take, I added and implemented not exactly an area of effect system, so I want to call it in this way, and that's the reason actually I didn't made a tutorial about it, but it's basically something that would spawn an area to set the collision layer, the mask as well. The groups it must collide and will call an effect upon that area owner. Okay, very simple. And I made this to a body like a collision damage to the enemy. And I also made a default hero that is named after myself, but I don't know if I will keep this. That basically has this area of effective damage as well. Okay. And I also added some different attributes such as armor, resistance, magic, and attack, and the damage that will be dealt in the different characters and actually monsters as well will use these things. Okay. I also added the experience to the player, and I used the XP in my attribute system we can set a max value and a signal that is an event actually. Open this value, this max value and the minimal value as well. Open these values is reached. So I used this to make the level up idea. So I have an attribute that hold the experience and has a maximum value. And upon reaching this value, I actually reset the level to 0 and level up. Okay? And in the new stage, since I implemented the experience a level idea, I made the level up panel. I also made the upgrade and the improvement resource and a panel for this as well that I actually recommend to use a button. I made the resource. I made the first one, that is the regeneration, actually that the one that adds a regeneration effect to the player, but you are actually able to set it native. You just need to add this effect, and how this will work, that will basically increment the HP, okay, every 1 second. I also added a progress bar to the player to mark the health. I think I will add one as well for the experience. And I also decremented some values, such as how fast and how often the area of effect for the player will actually be active, in order to let the enemies hit the player, and I am be able to level up and show you the possibilities for the upgrade. Okay. So here, as you can see, I decreased a lot of things in order to show you. The first thing, the health. So as you can see now in the progress bar, the player is taking damage, and upon level up you are able to select the upgrades. In this case, it will add the regeneration effect to the player, and upon selecting it, pay attention to the health that will go up every 1 second. This is the regeneration. Okay, so now what is the next step? Because the skeleton for the game is already made. Basically, it's where I increment the game. So create some heroes, create some enemies, create the upgrades, the weapons, different area of effect, different projectiles and now make the game more similar to our inspiration. Okay. Voiceover anymore. So I didn't finish this game yet, and actually it would take a while in order to finish it, but I think it is in a stage that people can understand that it's only about incrementing and making the game a bit more appealing visually or in terms of mechanic and audio. Okay, so first I made a very similar main title in the tower defense game. Okay, there is nothing like a secret in here, and actually only the play button works. So whatever. I will try to make like at least have the minimum working version before posted, like actually publishing, not publishing, but uploading to itch.io. Okay, and I hope to do this before Carnival here in Brazil. So this basically this title, this lead us to the world. I think I've showed most part of things. One thing that I had to change, and I hope you guys understand, that actually it was like I planned to have this, but for some reason I didn't implement it. That was this area of effect resource, because in the area of effect manager, as you can see, I have the animated sprite, right? And for some reason I didn't add any in the area of effect manager as well. So it was something that I was planning to do. I made some very basic and simple actually images. So I have these. I try to make a very simple hermit crab with only these 4 colors. As you can see, not that good, but it's not even a tile set. I cannot call this because it's only colored squares that I made just to like mock up where I would place things. Okay, this is the current version. Actually, I added that OST that I made for this game already, but it will only be played if it comes to the game through the start page. Okay, so this is the starfish, no animation. Okay, but I will try to make something for it as well. Actually, this is a very rudimentary version of the game, right? So to be honest, I'm not even worried if this does not looks good. Okay, as you can see, a lot of things being spawned. The starfish, I think it's too soon. I said to spawn after I think 20 seconds, but I think it's just too soon. So I will actually make it take longer in order to spawn. For example, this green thing is obstacle. This is not. This would be just like a darker. Oh, okay, a darker area. But so this green area should only block me. Okay, as you can see, I cannot transparent. And here is the limit. I just added this. I could actually change the background color for the world actually, but okay. So this is the current state of the game. Not very fun, not very like dynamic and so on, but everything can get better, you know. So I'm very not worried about how the game is looking right now. The point of this stage is actually, do the game work? Yes, it does. So great. So now the only path left is to improve it in the very different areas, such as I said, visual, audio, and mechanically. Okay, so I think this might be enough, like to encourage and exhort people to use the systems I've showed in order to make a game. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.